And one of the first emails I got from a citizen was basically, I really don't want you doing this pie in the sky stuff. What have you done personally to be able to reduce your carbon footprint? And I was glad to be able to say, well, I'm actually really pursuing a photovoltaic system. I also do some composting. I'm also trying to ride the bike on anything that's a reasonable trip, just any little things we can do. But I think that something like the PV system was a really big way of kind of putting your money where your mouth is. So you can see we've got this this piece of conduit coming down here from the roof. And that conduit is coming, all of the solar panels up there are connected to each other, all 33 of them. And the power is DC power, and that's what the solar panels generate. And then it comes down into here, into this box. And this solar edge basically controls and monitors the whole system, but then also converts the DC power to the AC power that your house uses, or that FPL would usually serve up to you. So this thing you see here, it's a little cell antenna. The way that, and I'll show you some of that again, the way we're able to see what's happening with it is this talks back over the cell network to a data center where SolarEdge aggregates all the stuff and then provides you with a way to see not just how the whole system is operating, but how each panel is operating, which is really nice. Power, but it's basically from 8 in the morning until sunset, you get some. And then one thing that's really neat, so you'll see this comes over here and feeds back over into the disconnect, and then the more important thing is to the meter. And so here you can see one of the things that you have to do when you do this is FPL comes out and says, hey, this is somebody that's on net metering, they're using a photovoltaic power, and they're sending power up into the grid. So one thing you'll see here that's really neat, when this cycles through, we've actually generated more power than we've received since they put this in. So here it's saying 531 kilowatt hours of power I've delivered to them, and I've received 506 kilowatt hours. So at least this time of year, this thing's actually generating more power than I'm using, which is nice. And while we don't have the perfect regulatory environment for solar here in Florida, we do have a good net metering rules. So what will happen here is if at the end of the year I've delivered more power to them than I've received, they'll cut me a check. So that's nice. So my roof was about 30 years old, was really showing its age, got a little bit of damage in the last set of hurricanes that we had. So I had opted to go for a metal roof. In this case, is an aluminum roof, standing seam, since we're kind of close to the water. You want something that won't corrode, or something that will definitely outlast these solar panels. So one of the things that people are often really concerned about when they do a solar power system is the penetration into their roof. You know how it is, we're in South Florida, there's a lot of rain, the last thing you want is water coming through. Well, one of the things that's great, if you could see this standing seam metal roof, and the way that the solar panels are mounted to it are these clips, which actually hold on to the standing seam. So there's no penetration here. That's a really nice thing. And this is all rated over Cat 5, over 155 mile an hour windstorm. Sure. Well, I mean, one of the main things that we've done is being a founding member of that Green Energy Corridor and really trying to make some additional kind of financing options available for people. So through Y-Green, you can, if you have some equity in your home, you can do a system like this with no upfront cost by basically it ends up on your property taxes amortized over 15 years. That's something that helps a lot. Other than that, I think what we've really tried to do is help support the establishment of these co-ops so we could build a little bit more purchasing power, and try to achieve some scale. The other thing that we have done in the Miami Shores Village is we waived permitting fees for solar power systems for, I don't remember if it was 1 year or 2 years, but we're currently, right now there's no permitting fee for the solar power system. So we're trying to encourage people as much as we can. It's been a nice big day last Friday. And this is neat. This is what I was saying. You can actually see, anytime a cloud passed by or a shadow of any kind, got in the way. So you can see we have our nice big peak here in the middle of the day where the thing is fully exposed. And one of the things that's really nice about this is that sometimes, you may need to do some changes to how your system is laid out over time, make sure everything's working well. You want to make sure that all the panels are operating at full efficiency. So one of the things that they've done, and you can see it here on the layout, is they enable you to see how each panel individually is operating. So you can see the ones that are a little bit brighter have generated a little bit more power today. And then when you're wondering, hey, what does this look like during the day? You can actually do a playback, and then you can see over the course of the day, and these are the ones on the east, these are the ones on the west. So you see in the morning, these are really bright. And then now that we're in the afternoon, it's moving over, and we're a little bit past the end of the day there. But I think you can see how this would really allow you to keep a really good handle on how it's working and allow for any modifications to be made. Even more importantly, things get a nice long 15-year warranty. So if you start to see that any of these panels aren't operating the way they should be, they can just come and replace that particular one or see what's happening there. So what's nice is they have this app on here that allows you to see how everything is going as well. And so this is something that so you can go back in time, see how it's working, and then very much one of the things here is nice. You can see, like you were talking about, how is it trending over time, and you can see now here it's showing May. If we go back, this is when we got turned on at the end of April, and then so generating some power, generating power into May. And I'm really curious to see how this, where this goes from here. But I think that the village and the county need to be adopting solar power in the use in their own facilities to really demonstrate to the public that the county is willing to take that leadership role and say, hey, on our facilities, maybe we should start putting up solar panels. Maybe we should see where we can, affect what we're doing. And then you can imagine them using that to supplement an electrical powered fleet. And that's something that I know, even here in Miami Shores, our next code enforcement vehicle, a couple of the other vehicles we're looking at, they're going to be pure electric. So if you're even charging them with solar power, I think you're even going, one more step and help setting a great example.